Well, here with expert advice on this is David Peters, financial advisor and CPA. David, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what are the actual chances of a person winning the lottery?
Well, they're really, really small. I mean, it's 1 in about 300 million. So, so your chances of winning are pretty small, but it's still fun to dream, isn't it?
It always is. And are you dreaming already? What would you buy?
Well, I think that if it was me, I think that probably my number one concern would be figuring out how to make that money last. I mean, if you really want money to be life changing, I mean, we got to make sure that it lasts over a long period of time. And so I think that for a lot of folks that have won the lottery in the past, the place where they have kind of gone wrong is through overspending. And so we would want to make sure how to figure out how to make that money last over a long period of time.
All right, well, let's get to it. What would you say for someone who says, okay, I just won, I don't know, I need some financial advice? What would you tell them?
Well, I would say one, I would say that they have a very good problem. But two, I think that the next thing that I would say is how exactly you're going to take the money. So you do have the opportunity to take a lump sum, or you can take an annuity, which is basically a series of payments over a number of years. So if you take the annuity, I think that you have a better chance of making that money last. The annuity, if you take that, is approximately 17 million per year over 30 years. Whereas if you take the lump sum, it's after taxes, it'll be about $600 million. So, so the annuity, if spending is going to be an issue, I think, taking the annuity is the way to go. The other piece that we got to watch out for, no matter which option we choose, is taxes, making sure that we have enough set aside for taxes to pay when the time comes.
Yeah, that's so true. Got to pay Uncle Sam. But, I know a lot of people worry, I don't want to take the annuity because I'm afraid maybe the lottery will go out of business. Maybe something will happen where you won't get any of your money. Is that a concern? Should that be a concern?
Well, I mean, I would say that the lottery has been around for a long time, so I don't know that that is necessarily a big concern. But if that is a concern, I mean, you can take a lump sum. That's actually what a lot of people do. The majority of people do take a lump sum. However, if you do take an amount that big, again, the tax bill is going to be really, really high. And so making sure that we have enough set aside to pay for the taxes when the time comes, because the person who wins tonight won't be actually paying any taxes until probably April 15th, 2023. So it's going to be a bit of time. So we need to make sure that we're disciplined enough to set that money aside.
I'm going to get that tax extension. I don't want to pay it in April. I'll pay it in October. All right. But you know what? There are many stories of lottery winners ending up with less money than before they even played the lottery. How can winners avoid blowing all of their money and going bankrupt?
Well, I think that watching your spending and getting into good habits, I think, is important. Not only if you win the lottery, but if you get a big windfall of any type. One of the things to watch out for is that a lot of folks, when they have a big windfall, is they will spend their money on something big. So maybe a new house or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. However, the issue is that if you buy a big house, you also have to pay all the expenses that go along with a big house. So things like real estate taxes and the increase in the electric bill, the increase in insurance, and all of those things. And that's usually the part where people get in trouble is they forget that, after this big windfall, whether or not they're still going to be able to afford the things that they just bought.
That's a good point there. And I know a lot of lottery players, they should watch out for scammers as well, because with buying those homes and everything else you want to buy, there's a lot of scammers out there, whether you win or not. How can players protect themselves against scammers? Again, whether they win or not.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just be cautious on kind of things that seem too good to be true, and really just go to kind of trusted sources. That does tend to be a big problem when people win the lottery. Is that they have situations where they have a lot of people pulling at them to try to give them money, and so just be careful on that. Don't be too trusting, and always be a bit skeptical. Also, if you're really not sure, ask somebody who is a professional. Ask somebody who is a financial professional, and ask them to help you scrutinize that before you sort of readily give somebody your money.
Okay, now I know another piece of advice a lot of people give is remain secretive. Keep your identity secret. Don't tell the world. But is it required that you have to go in for the photo with, the whole lottery agency or whatever? Because I'm just going to dress up as an old white woman and no one will know it's me.
So some states actually do require the person to become public, at least to a point. There's other states though that don't, and so if you were in a state that doesn't require it, then you may want to consider not actually going public with the fact that you won. And I think that again, because you have a lot of people pulling at you, advertising that you won to the general public can maybe be to your detriment.
I'm not telling nobody. All right. So what other last minute tips do you have for people playing the lottery tonight?
The chances of winning are pretty small. If you do win, that's great. But make sure that it truly is life-changing money. And the way that you do that is that you are able to make that money last. If you can spend less than you made, then you're going to have a good financial future for you, no matter how much money you get in your windfall.
All right. Now, earlier you gave me avoidance answer. I need to know what David is going to do with the money if he wins. Just want something you're going to buy, something fun. We know you're going to save and budget. What's the one thing you want to splurge on?
I mean, I think that for me, it would be a vacation home and probably a beach vacation home at this point. I think that would be probably my lottery winnings. In terms of the other, $900 million or whatever, I'm not sure what I would do with that. Probably retire.
All right, now that's an answer I like. I'm going to buy a big house for my mama, my daddy, my mother-in-law, and my family, and we're going to stay quiet. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right, David Peters, financial advisor and CPA, thank you so much for your advice.